Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Horizon 3 tune setup, in particular for straight line performance. And this car is, I would say, one of the best looking cars in the game, but that's coming from the point of view of a classic enthusiast. I love the look of those old school lowrider slash hot rod type vehicles. Now this is the Ford F100. It's pretty much the oldest pickup in the game, I think, or at least it is so far without DLC. And it's a pretty powerful one, with the engine conversion, 1500 horsepower. It's not overly heavy either, even with all-wheel drive, which can be useful. Now, as far as the upgrades on this particular car, you do have a couple of visual options to work with. Now, I've opted, as you can see, to fit the optional spare tyre on the side. Some people won't want that. I personally think it looks great. So it's stuff like that where this video comes into play more, because you can choose whether you want that or not, whereas from the storefront, of course, you don't have the option, because this exact tune is on my storefront. Now, if you like the way it looks, you can find this exact tune, as I said, by using the keywords down below in my Forza Horizon 3 tune selection. But if you'd rather change stuff yourself, of course, then this is more the video for you. Now, as I mentioned, you want that 1500 horsepower engine, of course. I would recommend all-wheel drive. This is one of those vehicles which is much better with it than without it, because with the rear-wheel drive you've got such a tiny amount of weight over the rear that you just aren't grounding those rear wheels enough. You could try it if you want a bit of fun, but I wouldn't recommend it for the best performance. The twin-turbo is, of course, obvious, and then as far as the rest, just fit whatever improves the car, and also whatever visuals you want. What though about the tuning side of things? Well, this isn't as quick a car as some of the other builds that we've done, but that's not too surprising. It's a truck. Of course it's not as quick. 3.8 or just under 3.9 to 60 is still pretty good though. 5.2-ish to 100 and 227 miles per hour flat out. That's pretty good. That's quicker than the Hummer, for instance, which is my personal favourite car in the game, so it certainly has potential to be useful. As far as the gearbox, I would recommend a final drive of 3.79, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.95 and 0.78. Then for the rest, of course, anyone who's been on the channel before will know, neutral camber, neutral toe, but I do need to mention, if you are new to the channel and you like to have a bit of camber, maybe you like your cars to be stanced, you go ahead and do that. It doesn't matter. You can feel free to do that if you want to. As far as caster, I've got it down on 2 degrees because I like the handling to be very nimble on trucks. You don't have to really go any lower than that. You could if you wanted to, but it will become a bit more tail happy, or if you find it too tail happy, you could of course increase it. As far as anti-roll, we've got those on 34 and 18, springs on 187 and 167 with, of course, the lowest ride height. It looks fantastic on this car. Dampers on 15, 12 and then 6 respectively. Aero doesn't apply, of course, and for the diff, of course, in particular with all-wheel drive, 100% on acceleration, 0 on deceleration, and for this particular car, a 75% inclination towards the rear. So you get a nice balance. You get the launch off the line and of course the off-road advantage of all-wheel drive, but without losing too much of its rear-wheel drive driftability, and also you don't want the handling to be too stiff. So overall, if you do decide to either get this from my storefront or use this video or some variation of it, either way, I hope you find it fun and of course competitive, and it certainly does have the potential to be. But overall, that's it for this particular build, and of course you can hit subscribe down below to see new builds like this as soon as I release them. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.